Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Amanda T here on Create Your Future. I am grateful that you are here. I have a fantastic video for you today on curing illness. Before I was all ready to dive in, I'm so excited to talk about it. I intend that you all like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Now, let's just jump right in because I'm so excited. So, obviously, I don't like just talk about this all the time, but when I was young, I think I was in the 5th grade, my vision started getting kind of blurry, and then my asthma started. Well, I was diagnosed with asthma, so I'd always had allergies. I started thinking about it when I was writing out like all my notes for this video. And what's interesting is that was the first year I didn't like school. Like I had always loved school, but I didn't like this teacher. I didn't like this year. And, it leads me back to what I originally said. Like I started having like blurry vision and I started asking to be like moved up in seating, and, that became an issue. And then I also had been diagnosed with allergies when I was younger, and I started having like issues with my breathing. It seemed really tight, and I'd been in so many sports my whole life and I wasn't able to participate anymore. And just so many things seemed to change. And so I never really did sports again the rest of my life. And I kind of just did things that worked within my asthma. I had asthma so much. Here's one of my old ones. Like my dogs chewed on it now. It's like so gross. I think it was under the couch or something. Anyways, but I'm going to throw this away afterwards. But I mean, I've had one of these in my life for over 20 years, and I would be like with SP or out with friends, and you have your like cute little handbag, and I'm like, could you hold my inhaler? Like, it was just such a thing. My friends were all aware I was the girl with asthma. I had asthma. How's your asthma, man? It's good. Or I can't breathe, waking people up in the night coughing. Anywho, so I've had asthma like that for 20 years, very severe, very significant. I needed it every single day for 20 years. So then I was talking with Amanda M, and this was like back in October 2024 or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's caught on the end of a video, but I didn't do the research for it. But we were talking during or after a video, and she said, I just said I don't have it anymore. And it just clicked in my brain. I can see my like little baby hairs wisping up. It clicked in my brain so well because I'd wanted to get rid of my asthma, but it was such a part of my life. I had such strong beliefs about it. I didn't even really think about how I could do it. And when she said it, my brain was like, yeah, I'm going to say that, say that. So I started saying things like, I don't have asthma. Now, here's the thing. At first, I would still get like a little wheezing and tightness in my chest based on activities and things that I was doing. So I would walk over to where I would normally keep this. I would walk over, and while I was walking over, I would affirm things like, my lungs are healthy, my lungs are strong. And then I would envision, so like if you see like the lungs of a body and then inside there's like tubes, right, that carry the air. And there used to be this commercial where it would show how asthmatics have like the tube in the tube and they would compress together. And so I would visualize, as I'm saying, my lungs are healthy, my lungs are strong. I would envision kind of that commercial in the lungs as they like compressed and it was harder to breathe, opening and opening. I can take deep breaths. I breathe free and clear. So first I would give myself like, there's no reason for this to be happening. And then as I visualized, I would then also release and say, like, it feels so good to be able to breathe so good. So my lungs are strong. My lungs are healthy. I don't have asthma. There's no, I can take deep breaths. I have oxygen going all throughout my body. I don't feel any discomfort, but mostly it was, I don't have asthma, just sort of like taking on and embodying that persona. So I will say, looking at my notes, it was probably about a month, I'll say. And actually my mind took to it really quickly. I was actually really surprised and really happy with how quickly my brain was like, you don't have asthma anymore after having it for about 20 years. But because it is such a severe condition, and because, obviously don't do anything without talking to a medical professional first, I wasn't just going to just go with it. I wasn't just going to start walking out my door without it and stuff like that. So I did carry around my inhaler for about a week. About a month. I even got a refill, and, you know, I would just always keep affirming, and it was amazing. Like, there's counters on here for how many puffs you have left. And it would be so cool to me to watch how the number's not going down, but the days are going by, you know, or the fact that I could forget it or not even have it on me. There was times in my life where if I couldn't find it, I'm having an asthma attack and I'm panicking due to the fact that I had such a hold to this thing. This was my everyday life for over 20 years, like I said. So I did allow myself the time to just get used to not having this as a part of my daily life, as not needing it. And it was going really great up until, this is so cool, right? What was it? It was about a month and a half ago. So I was seeing this new SP, great video on that coming, very juicy, coming up next week, I believe. And I went to his house, and I live in the Pacific Northwest, and he lives closer. Actually, I live pretty close to the water too, but I would say he lives closer to the water. And yeah, he lives close, and it's more on the water. Like, it's right there. So the air was kind of heavy. It had humidity in it. You know, you can feel the moisture. And I'm walking into the house, and I'm like, oh my God, my chest is tight. I don't have any inhalers at this point because I've gotten rid of that. And I realized right then, right in that sweet moment, I said, oh, I have a limiting belief. There's still a limiting belief here based on my environment. Because it used to be like, if it was cold weather, oh my God, all bets are off. I could hardly walk outside if it was like cold weather. So, you know, it's like, okay, so I clearly still have this limiting belief that based on my environment and based on conditions, that could affect the way my lungs are working. And so I instantly in that moment said, no, if I don't have asthma, I don't have asthma across the board. No 3D, no location is going to affect that. I don't care if I'm on top of a snowy mountain. I don't care if it's cold outside. I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if I'm near the beach. Also, I've heard some people say like pools and chlorine, it can affect things like that. So I just decided to put everything in one. And I was like, no matter where I am, my lungs are healthy. My lungs are great. My lungs are fine. Let's see. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Nope. Not at all. Anyways, so you guys, if you have a medical condition, always talk to your medical provider and everything like that. But take a look at the conditions, take a look at, you know, what sort of things you actually believe about this. You know, I started looking at my allergies harder. Why would I have them? I was told I had them, you know, so now we're getting rid of those things like that in my life. Those deeper stories they got to go. So go ahead, take a look. Always, you can book coaching. And if you want more videos from me, just click on the blue feather. I love you so much. Bye-bye.